Hey, what's going on, everyone? You already know who it is. It's your favorite internet sweaty, your boy Mikey Savage 21. And so I just got back from eating lunch, and guess what's the first thing that pops up in my news feed? The new exclusive Red Band trailer for the new Cult of Chucky movie. I am not going to lie to you guys. I am so pumped and so excited. And so basically what we're going to do here is we're going to do a breakdown of the trailer as well as kind of a reaction to the trailer and just break down what we're seeing here. Now, obviously for copyright reasons, I won't put the audio in here, but you guys will be able to at least see it. And then I'll just kind of go into detail about what I first see. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so now we are back. Had to deal with that real quick, obviously. Got to get through the commercials. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, let's go back. So this first shot right here. Okay, so first we're opening out on the night sky and everything, and it looks like we're going to be transitioning into Andy possibly on a date with somebody. I'm guessing this is just kind of like maybe at the beginning of the movie, where we're just recapping some of the details and everything. Okay, so again, here we see Andy. He is on a date with a very lovely redhead. Maybe this is a date. Maybe it's some kind of other meeting. Maybe he's meeting with Nika's lawyer, possibly. He could be meeting with her lawyer, maybe trying to possibly get her out of there and trying to add some credibility to her story. But he's basically just sitting here and he's telling her basically about the death of his babysitter, as you saw, remember, from the original Child's Play film. And maybe, again, he's just trying to maybe get Nika out, because it did say in the synopsis that he was going to try to come to Nika's aid. So maybe he's trying to get her out of there and trying to add some validity to her story, because obviously nobody's going to really back her story up that a doll just happened to go on a killing spree. Even though you would think at this point, if people keep saying that a killer doll is killing people, then you would think everybody else would just be like, huh, maybe there's some validity to this story? I don't know. Okay, so now she just said that they never caught him, and he said that justice was done. And then we quickly get to a shot of Chucky and him with the blowtorch. Right here, maybe again this is Andy. Maybe he's having some kind of flashback, or maybe this is before he actually goes to the ward and he's just kind of arming himself and getting ready. But either way, I'm so excited to see him back. It has been such a long time since we have seen him, so I'm glad to have Andy back into the franchise again. Again, he was so good to see him back in the last film, as small as his role was, and if anything, it was more so just like a cameo and a nod to the fans. All right, got the Universal logo. All right, so here we have Nika. Obviously, it looks like they've aged her up a little bit. It looked like she might have been in here. Again, according to the synopsis, it's 4 years later. So this is her at 4 years later, and the doctor is sitting here explaining to her that the murders were real, but that Chucky is not real, that he is a figment of her imagination. Basically what all the other psychiatrists and doctors have been telling Andy and some of the other people who have came forward or getting punished for certain crimes that they didn't commit. The same, schmuck that everyone gets spilled out every once in a while. All right, so we just there, and again, we just saw a shot of Chucky once again. I'm gonna see if I can get the. I'm not gonna be able to get him. No, I'll try one more time. It's kind of hard. So close every time. We keep missing him every time, but it's okay, guys. All right, so obviously this is what the mental institution that Nika is residing in. This is obviously what it looks like right here. As you can tell from all the different little compartments in the dorms. All these windows, you would think they would have like bars or something on these windows maybe. But again, this is just a mental institution, not a prison necessarily. And we don't know exactly where this is taking place or why the windows are set up like this. Looks like this, obviously. All right, so we first our first shot of some of the residents within the mental institution with Nika. They are asking her if she is feeling better now. Oh, I'm gonna lie, she looks kind of creepy. Yeah, she looks kind of creepy. She looks a little demented right there. She might be working for Chucky. You never know. But no. So this is what her roommates look like, and from what we have been told, they obviously think that she is crazy. They think that she's gone on this murderous killing spree of everybody. Even though she's in a wheelchair, they're afraid of her, which is kind of funny in a way. All right, now this is obviously creepy right here, and this is also kind of a nod to most of the horror tropes where you have somebody who maybe have been in a catatonic state, or maybe somebody who was asleep, and all of a sudden in the background you see them sit up, kind of like Undertaker, like he likes to do. All right, so she said that Chucky told her. We just saw his little feet scurry by. They're really being elusive about Chucky in here. They really don't want us to see much of Chucky. Not yet, at least. Okay, so here comes, okay, obviously she's gone now, the lady that was sitting next to her. Maybe there was some kind of ruckus or fight or something, and maybe she left, but we can see that she's back here again. And again, the camera's doing a good job of encapsulating the supporting characters that we're going to see here. Possibly maybe some of Chucky's pawns in this whole thing of the cult or whatnot. Now, I actually have a theory about the cult because I've actually watched this Red Band trailer several times, and I think I might have a little bit of a theory of the whole cult thing, basically. But basically, what the doctor is doing here. Okay, so this is just like what they also said in the synopsis that came out a few months ago. The doctor says that in order for Nika to truly understand this and accept this, and for the group to kind of, I guess, be a little bit more sympathetic to the story and understand this, he actually goes and gets a real life good guy doll. This looks just like the one from Curse for the most part, except it looks like he might have a new body. Maybe they replastered over his face again. I don't know. This looks like a completely different doll to me. It doesn't look like the same kind of doll that we had in Curse of Chucky. That one looked a little bit more cute. This one looks cute, but not as cute, and his eyes obviously aren't as big. It looks a little bit more thicker in the material and everything, but it still talks and looks just like the good guy doll. It looks like, again, maybe he got a new face. Maybe he got a new face plastered on him again. I'm not sure. I'm sure at some point during the film they'll explain why he has a new look again. Maybe this will add some validity to why he got his head knocked off in the last film and there was no blood or any spatter or anything, and why he was able to take so much damage. Maybe this is a brand new body again, so he has a good couple of hours to stay in this before he starts turning human. I don't know. It seems like they might take some liberties with that whole staying in the doll too long, turning into basically the new trope of I can stay in the body as long as I want to. Now that I have the heart of Dumbala, which was introduced in Bride of Chucky, I can stay in the doll for as long as I want to. Oh, yeah, we have our first shot of Chucky. All right, hold on. Oh, well, apparently I have now gone full screen. All right, so we have our first shot of Chucky looking over to the side, and then immediately it appears at one of the nurses. We see obviously his hand. So at least at this point, they're not going to be trying to go for the whole mystery element as to, oh, I wonder who's doing the killings again, like they kind of tried to reintroduce in Curse of Chucky, and like they also did in the original Child's Play. It looks like this is going to be kind of like 2 and 3, where he'll be sneaking around in the shadows, but they're going to have him out in the forefront. And I actually like that because I don't like them hiding Chucky. This is his movie, so I think he should be front and center in his own movie. All right, so there and again, we have more emphasis and focus on her. So it looks like again, I think either she might be one of the first ones to go, or maybe she's going to be a pawn in this whole thing of Chucky. Because if you guys don't know, Chucky is very manipulative. That's one of his gifts. He's able to get inside people's heads and manipulate them. I mean, he was able to manipulate Tiffany for all those years, to where she went and hunted him down, basically, to get his pieces and reattach him and reassemble him. And she's still currently helping him. So obviously he's a good manipulator and a good talker. And you got to have a good strategy. Now also right here, check this out. The nurse apparently doesn't notice. The nurse is leaving out. She might have just given her some kind of medicine. But look right here in the background. Chucky's right here in the background. So I have a feeling that Chucky is going to be using her maybe to gain access to certain places that he can't currently go to. All right, she's talking about coming to mommy. So, okay, maybe she's in here because maybe she killed her child, because we see there's a bassinet right here in the background. So what I'm possibly thinking maybe happened is maybe she killed her child, or her child died possibly in some kind of way, and she wasn't able to really cope with it all the way. And so Chucky's using that and pretending to basically be her quote-unquote child, because as you see right here, she's getting ready to breastfeed Chucky, and I have a feeling he's going to bite her nipple off. That's just me, but so speculating, I'm thinking maybe her child got tragically killed. Maybe they'll relate it to, maybe Chucky did it. Chucky's never been the type to kill babies, but I wouldn't put it past him either. All right, obviously we have Nika, and she's watching. Okay, look, there's the look on her face. So obviously she's just like enjoying it. She's like, yeah, he's my child and everything, you know, and whatnot. We have the shot. There was a shot right there. So obviously, like I said, he was going to bite her, obviously. Okay, so okay, there we go. All right, so obviously there's the blood right there. So obviously maybe he just bit her or did something. We don't know. We didn't hear her scream or anything, so we don't know what's going on in the scene. Obviously, the doctor right here scene is about to apparently give Nika some kind of injection, maybe something to make her go to sleep or her relax, because obviously at this point she's gone kind of manic and is like freaking out about everything right now. And maybe he's just having a hard time understanding and believing her about what's going on right now. All right, so he just told her, doctor right here, he just asked her, are you afraid of the truth? I don't trust this guy. I really do not trust this guy. And this is going to get back to my whole theory of the cult thing in just a few minutes. All right, so apparently somebody's head just went rolling. So let's see. Oh, we have Chucky looking up at somebody. So apparently he's about to chop somebody's head off. Let's see if we can. All right, so obviously I'm guessing this is Nika's eye. She's just had that drug implanted into her or whatever. All right, so this thing is going crazy. I'm going to have to just start using the space bar, like seriously. All right, going back once again. Okay, so there's Nika. She's talking to the doctor. Obviously, she has not had the shot or anything yet. And then again, when we go back a little further, okay, there's somebody's head. Okay, I can't clearly see whose head that is. Maybe that's the lady that we saw that was breastfeeding Chucky earlier. Maybe that's her head, maybe. It's kind of hard to really tell whose head that might be. Maybe it's, again, one of the other nurses or one of the other patients that's inside the asylum, basically. I'm not quite sure. And I guess Don Mancini wasn't kidding when he said this is going to be the bloodiest one, because as you can tell, the blood is like all over the place. Not only it's on the severed head right here, but it's all over the floor. And of course, when the head is detached from his body, of course, obviously blood's going to be spurting from it. So at least he's sticking true to what he said about that. All right, so here we have in blood where it says Chucky did it. Maybe the person before they were killed, or maybe before they finished, they were able to write Chucky's name in their blood and everything. And so obviously the doctor is going to be like, Nika, you did this, obviously. This kind of looks like her mother from the first film. Maybe this, but it kind of looks like her, but obviously couldn't be her mother because her mother was the first one to go. So maybe this is like a nightmare sequence Nika is having or something, because we saw that her eyes got dilated because she was getting injected with some drug. So maybe that she's having like a flashback or something. But this lady kind of looks like her mom, but I don't think it's her mom, no. Okay, so maybe it wasn't her mom. Whoever that was, obviously they just slit their wrist, and before they died, they wrote in their blood that Chucky did it. Chucky made me do this or something like that. And Nika just told the doctor that you should be afraid, that you should be worried about what Chucky is going to do. All right, so here's Chucky again, looking just like he did from Curse of Chucky with the whole eyes and everything. Again, I'm kind of liking this new look to Chucky. It's more CGI than anything. And of course, obviously, this is the trailer, so the CGI is going to be touched up and whatnot. But I'm actually kind of digging this new look of Chucky, but I'm always going to be nostalgic to how Chucky used to look, especially in Bride of Chucky, where they actually use actual props and everything instead of mostly CGI shots to touch up everything. Okay, so apparently he just struck the doctor and knocked him out. All right, here we got another shot of Chucky right here, and he said, and apparently they called me sick. So, okay, I don't know what to think of this. Maybe he was just about to give her a shot. Maybe he said something. Chucky was in the room, and he just struck the doctor out. Okay. So here's the theory right here. And so the next scene, we see the lady has a Chucky doll now. And there's another Chucky doll right here. And I think we saw someone else coming in with another Chucky doll. So, okay, here's my theory. I think they're basically going to go balls to the walls, horror action here. And they have Chucky's blood on reserve. And they are basically inseminating his blood into every single one of these dolls, to the point where maybe towards the end of the film, we're going to have an army of Chuckies. And then this is where the cult comes into play, because cults ultimately do stuff like this. Maybe Chucky is their savior now, and that is they're essentially worshiping him. So by having multiple ones, everybody's able to have their own personal god, basically. Because again, going to the premise that Doc said he was going to bring in just one. Well, take that back. He didn't say how many he was going to bring in. So maybe he's getting every single one of them a doll, and the dolls are all connected somehow, and Chucky's going around doing all the killing. Now, you could also make the argument that maybe he just got a bunch of good guy dolls, and there's only one real one, but we don't know which one is the real Chucky. We don't know which one's the one doing all the killing, because these two basically look the same. If you can tell, this doll looks exactly like this one. So my theory is the whole cult is, we're going to have multiple Chuckies running around. This doctor is using it for some kind of experiment here. He's experimenting on these mentally ill patients, basically, to where they're going to have multiple Chuckies running around, basically. And maybe Chucky would be able to put his soul in multiple people, because it didn't imply that you couldn't put your souls in multiple people. And people have always speculated that Chucky could live in two places at once. So maybe again, all of the dolls are possessed by him, basically, and the whole cult is they worship Chucky as is basically this new god, and so they're going around doing this experiment, seeing if this actually has some validity to it. All right, so then we have the girl from before. Apparently she's been restrained, so obviously she's done something to get herself restrained. Oh my gosh, look at Chucky's eyes right here. They look creepy as F. Oh my goodness, they look creepy. All right, so apparently he's about to inject her with something, and she can't move, obviously, because obviously you can see she's restrained and everything. And she's hollering and screaming, and so they're probably thinking, oh, she's just having some kind of breakdown or something. All right, so just said he'll kill us all. Of course, there's Chucky giving us the classic middle finger that he always does. Again, we have the lady right here. Maybe she, again, I think is going to be the one getting Chucky into all of these different rooms and everything, and going where he can't go. There and again, maybe there again, my theory about them having multiple Chuckies might come into play. Everybody in that group basically is going to have a doll. Maybe everybody's going to have a doll, basically. I don't know. Okay. Tiffany, classic Tiffany. Obviously, she just probably killed somebody or something. And classic her doing her nails with the blood and then licking the blood with the knife. That's classic Tiffany to the T. Again, we have another shot of Chucky here with a little scalpel looking very intense, like he's just about to kill somebody. Then again, we have the lady. Obviously, she thinks Chucky is her baby or whatever. I don't know. It looks like there might be someone's face back here as well behind Nika. So maybe her and that guy are going to be the ones to kind of realize what's going on here, because he looks like he's like, wait a minute, man, I'm getting a little kind of freaked out by all of this mess and whatnot. I don't know. All right, so here we have the shot from Andy. Remember, we saw the shot before about where Chucky got mailed to him, or Tiffany basically was at the post office and she mailed Chucky to Andy. So maybe either this is a flashback, maybe this is a dream that he's having, because you can see it has that kind of dream sepia tone color to it, where it's like all beiged out and brown and whatnot. So maybe this is a flashback or some kind of dream sequence he maybe is having. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, so we know what her fate is apparently she is going to get a hand shoved down her throat. My goodness, Don Mancini was not kidding about there being lots of blood in here. All right, so again, there's the Andy shot there, and again, she's sitting there hugging him. This is just a continuation from the outside shot. Maybe, okay, right here she looks kind of intense. Maybe she's like, Chucky, you're doing something wrong. You're doing something bad. And maybe she's about to punish Chucky somehow. Okay, Andy, we have him in a padded cell right here. So obviously he has came to the institution and they think something's wrong with him. And maybe now they have locked him up as well. So I'm not quite exactly sure about that. But obviously we see Andy in the white cells and right here, and it looks padded and everything. So obviously he's going to, again, come to the asylum, and it looks like he might have ended up there himself. All right, and then obviously we have our classic shot of Cult of Chucky. Let's go back right here. Let's see who we have that was screaming. Come on. Okay, there's that shot. All right. So there and again, we have another nurse here. Maybe she just discovered this lady's body, the one that had the hand shoved down her throat. So maybe Chucky's going to chop her hand off and stick it down her throat. I'm not quite sure. But all right, guys, that's basically going to be my entire breakdown of this trailer. I know it's kind of long and it's kind of extensive, but thank you all for sticking around, getting my opinions and my thoughts in this breakdown. Again, this is the Red Band trailer. Just came out 4 hours ago as of this recording. So I'm going to go back and rewatch it a couple of times, maybe post some of my thoughts on social media about what else I'm thinking. But again, my theory is this whole cult is they have Chucky and they worship him as this like type of demigod or whatever, because maybe he has now discovered a way to live on forever. Obviously he got that from John in the original movie, Dr. Voodoo himself, who taught him all of this. But now it looks like we're taking that to even higher levels now, basically. And there are 2 dolls, so maybe there are 2 Chuckies now, and maybe the cult is they're going to try to make an army of these Chuckies, and he's basically going to take over. I don't know. That's just my theory. Post your theories down below, what you think is going on, and post your excitement. Are you excited to see Cult of Chucky? I know I definitely am, and I definitely plan to pick it up as soon as it comes out. Thank you again, as always, and remember, as I always say, to become a savage, stay a savage, and peace out, y'all.